Now, an Essex woman has broken the course record for the Antarctic Ice Marathon. Yes, those three words did go together: Antarctic Ice and Marathon. Fiona Oakes beat the previous record by 7 minutes earlier this month. In April, she also broke the record for the North Pole Marathon. She's now the first woman to hold both records. I spoke to Fiona earlier as she was standing in the Antarctic, and she told me how it felt.
I'm quite pleased with that, because obviously it's come on the back of doing all the other 7 continents. I've broken 3 world records and the course record here to finish.
To call it an ice marathon doesn't really do it justice. Tell us the conditions and the course that you've just been through.
Yeah, I mean, the course was, pretty thick with snow. I mean, it was tough running. Like running through snow on a road. They had actually cut a course round, they groomed the course, but it had got a lot of snow on it, so it was hard running conditions, because it's obviously so cold here as well. It's about -15 for the running, but the conditions in Antarctica have deteriorated so badly since the race, which was last Wednesday, that we haven't been able to fly out, so we're absolutely grounded now, and it looks like we're going to be here for some time.
Many people would find it insane that it's too bad to actually fly out of the place, yet you've managed to do a marathon there. That's just astonishing what you've done.
Yeah, I mean, it is literally a complete whiteout here now. The winds are unimaginable. We are actually sleeping in a tent that has got snow on the floor. It's freezing cold, bottles of water are just frozen next to your sleeping bag. There's one heated tent that you can go into, but even the power gets turned down on there because they're reliant on solar power, and obviously there is no light. It's very, very low cloud, low cloud, so you can't actually see anything. I mean, it's a very beautiful place that I'm in, apparently, but you can't actually see anything because the weather's just closed in too badly. We're not allowed to leave camp, it's all cordoned off. You can hardly stand up when you leave your tent anyway. The winds are phenomenal. They're absolutely phenomenal, and they're due to get a lot worse this afternoon.
When you're doing the marathon, just the breathing that you must do, you must be sucking in freezing air all the time. Is that much of a problem?
It is a problem, because obviously you are going to get frostbite if you don't cover your face. But if you cover your face, your goggles then get frozen. So you've got ice inside your goggles, or they're steamed up so you can't see where you're going. It's a complete whiteout. You're actually just, it's sunlight, the glare off the snow is so bright that you need goggles on. So you're kind of thinking, do I forfeit my eyes or my face to the cold? Everything, your mask gets frozen, it gets hot, it gets sweaty, and then it freezes to your face. So it's very, very difficult running conditions. And obviously you've got to watch your feet as well, because you get snow on your feet get wet, your feet get cold, then you could potentially get frostbite. So one guy did actually get frostbite. I think he got 10-digit frostbite whilst running on his fingers. His hands are very heavily bound.
You've done a marathon on every continent now. What's been the toughest one you've done? Is it this one?
For the actual run, no. Probably, to be truthful, the Atacama Desert one was appallingly difficult, because it was the equivalent of running a marathon halfway up the side of Mount Everest. It's the highest altitude aggregate race in the world, because it starts at altitude and it stays at high altitude, and that is very difficult to do a marathon in, because obviously the blood supply diminishes, it all goes to your internal organs, so your hands, your feet swell. You're running with a blinding headache. The terrain underfoot was extraordinarily difficult. The course was extraordinarily difficultly hilly and difficult underfoot. So that was a very, very brutal one. And of course the North Pole one that I did in April was probably down to about -35 degrees. So that was a hard one to do, because running in these temperatures is really, really difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. But it's not easy to break a world record, so you've got to be prepared. It's not every day you break 3 world records, which I did on Wednesday, so obviously that comes at a price, and I'm paying it now.
Fiona Oakes talking about the Antarctic Ice Marathon, just the latest record she's added to her collection. Well, that's going to make hearing the weather from Julie Ray.